Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Suhasini, a counselor at Viha Serenity Center in Melbourne. I want to share my experience and talk to you about trauma. The concept of trauma, impact, and the recovery is very close to my heart, and it reflects my own personal journey. In this introductory video, I give some basic information and insight about trauma. And in my later videos, I take you through different layers of its impact on the human psyche and body and how to recover from it. Okay, if we can, let's zoom out from where we are and take a bird's eye view of the world. You are flying high like an eagle and looking down on a human life. What do you see? Fast moving cars, people rushing, running around, chasing, striving. It's a kind of a rat race, constant striving and chasing, day after day, from a very young age to God knows when for each and every individual. If you think about what are people striving for, what are they running around for? What are they chasing? I can't see an answer. I was in that race a long time ago. I'm not denying that. After finding meaninglessness of that chase, I withdrew from life. So I was a part of that chase. Just zoom in maybe to an individual or to your own self. Waking up early in the morning, the alarm rings, you snooze it, but when you wake up, you are late. I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. Running around, rushing to the bathroom. If you are a man, rushing to the kitchen, get your lunch ready, breakfast ready, coffee in your hand, run to the car. If you are a father, get your children ready to either to the daycare or to school. Same story if you are a mother or a woman. The story is almost the same. Running around chasing early morning starts with the chase. Run against time. Drive to work or catch the train. Meetings after meetings, deadline after deadlines, confrontation, discussion, outcomes, and key performance indicators, this and that, In amongst everything, there is manipulation, there is backstabbing, climbing in the career ladder, achieving, proving yourself, selling yourself. That's another joke. Come back home stressed, caught up in the traffic, losing your patience, coming back home, taking out your stress on your family, yelling, screaming, crying, helping children to do their homework, go to bed exhausted, only to be repeated the next day and the next day and the next. Amongst all these things, if you see individuals, there are individuals who are constantly fighting their inner battle. Inner battle can be many different things. For example, people might be finding it hard to initiate any change. Or, in other words, they procrastinate, their work day after day. Or there are people who stay in an unfulfilling job, unhappy marriage, toxic relationship, just because it feels safe and stable and secure. They compromise their happiness and peace and joy for safety and stability. Or there are people who ruminate over their past mistakes, imagine worst case scenarios, and get frightened. And there are other groups of people who feel turned off, feeling numb, detached from daily life, doing their function in their world as a mechanical, robotic thing, checking the box, paying the bill, cooking, sleeping, cleaning, etc., etc. I attribute all these things as trauma behavior. I use the word trauma in a very loose and a very broad sense. Even though in the professional world, trauma refers to a very intense single event or a series of intense events, like soldiers in the front line or ambulance frontline staff. I think trauma is much broader and bigger and wider. There is a recognition that, a long term, repetitive, stressful event can cause traumatic response in people. It doesn't have to be a, what people describe as in CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress syndrome, people who experience sexual abuse, childhood sexual abuse. In my experience and in my interaction with the world, as I said before, our action is a trauma response. Our everyday reaction to the world, to our interactions, in our interactions, is a trauma response. It's not a character flaw or a personality flaw. I see it as a calibration issue. Calibration of what? Calibration of our nervous system. If you see a nervous system as a circuit, there is a surge in the circuit. If the electrical circuit is not protected, well insulated, the surge can cause damage or trip the circuit breaker. In the anatomical point of view, we consider the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And autonomic nervous system is a division of the peripheral nervous system that manages involuntary processes. Any traumatic event can lock a person in a particular state. To make it very simple, you can imagine the autonomic nervous system as a ladder with 3 rungs. At the top rung, people feel safe, everything is calm, the digestion is smooth, the heart rate is gentle, calm, and peaceful. The middle rung is the mobilization zone. There is a sense of stress, a danger. The body reacts to the stress situation. It's a fight or flight uh, zone. People feel stressed, anxious, and those kind of responses if you are in the middle zone, middle rung. The bottom rung represents the freeze response, immobilization zone, where the system shuts down, the plug is pulled. Some psychological responses are something like depression, procrastination is another, you are stuck in that region. Nobody is stuck in a particular region day in and day out, all day, every day. We move from layer to layer, ladder to rung in different states at different point in a different time in a day, different stages, and so on. We are constantly moving among the three rungs as a normal, general, everyday life. But people could be stuck in the middle layer or the bottom layer on few different aspects of their life, and that's the you are caught in a time bubble. You are stuck there, you are unable to move, and that stuckness creates limitation, restriction, constriction, and if you challenge it, it could be violent and toxic for many people who are unconsciously stuck. So, in my therapy, I look at um, any behavioral, thinking, or emotional problem, issues, or challenges from trauma point of view. The giants in the study of trauma, Dr. Peter Levine and Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, advocate trauma being stored in the body. And in my own experience, I realized it manifests as thoughts, emotions, and behavior. That's what the whole psychology is about, isn't it? So we need to address the trauma that's stored in the body that manifest as blockages in our emotional pattern, behavior, and thoughts that again influence our behavior. There is no one size fit all solution. Each and everybody is unique, and each and everybody's life experience is unique to themselves. Even in a family of four, the four siblings can have four different experiences, right? We have it. That's a common worldly experience. We know that. So everybody is different. We have to respect the individuality of each and every person. Yes, the their position in the family, like if you are a firstborn or the lastborn, or if you are a middle child, the impact is different. We consider that in our understanding of a person's trauma and its impact and its manifestation. But there's a lot more to it. Epigenetics and nurturing, nature versus nurture concept, everything plays a part. So, holistically, in my practice, I look at the individual as a whole being by themselves, unique being, providing a unconditional positive regard. The long term 40 plus years of meditation has given me the groundedness and the openness to remain in the present moment for an extended period of time, which I believe is the unconditional positive regard that Carl Rogers talks about. If I'm present with you, non judgmentally, unconditionally, I become a reflector. I reflect your feelings, your emotions, and your pattern. And in that presence, you see the solution for yourself. It's not that I heal you, I treat you. It's not like that. You have the potential, you have the immense power inside you. You are a whole being, the infinitely strong, powerful, rooted being. So my presence um, lights up your presence, maybe you can call it that way, and gives you the strength to see your own self and then enable you to manage it initially and then heal it totally. So this is my approach. In my later videos, in my next video, I talk about attachment styles. That's one of the foundational relationship trauma, if I can call it. And then we talk about cultural, intergenerational, national kind of traumas. And then my favorite thing is just being a male or a female is itself is a trauma response. That's how I see it. Male being human beings for the past thousands of years, the males were engaged in war, killing, conquering, that kind of a intense aggressive mode. And the female were subjected to rape and childbirth and all the subordinate role. So we are traumatized for thousands of years. That's how I see it. But it's not a negative thing. That's an evolutionary process. I suppose every wound has a lesson. Every wound has a potential to evolve and integrate to become whole again. By what do I mean by becoming whole? It's the integration of our mind, heart, and the whole body, the system aligned, and we operate in coherence. So when we operate in coherence, when we are in alignment to our own self, our own authentic inner self, that's magic. That's, I mean, for thousands of years, philosophers have talked about it. It's only experiential knowledge, not intellectual knowledge. You have to experience it to see, to feel the alignment and feel the oneness of you with the world, the relationship. You have the relationship of you, with others, and with the outer world. So that's where we travel to. That's our journey and that's our process. Welcome to the ground line. Thank you. Bye.